Announcements about layoffs in the education, tech, and other sectors of the local economy have been in the news. With that in mind, what happens if you lose your job or if you're hit with a financial hardship? What do you do with your outstanding loans? Joining us today is Robert Disotell, Chief Lending Officer at California Coast Credit Union. So thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so this is definitely happening to a lot of people that I know. Right. So with layoffs in the news lately, what are ideas you have for people who are experiencing financial hardship?
Well, it's pretty simple, but a lot of people don't think of these things. So first and foremost, I think, is to communicate. So talk to your lender, reach out to them, tell them the problems that you're having. I think the first instinct when people go through something like this is to ignore it, hope things get better, ignore the situation. And what happens then is that really forces the lender's hand to take legal action. Because if they don't know what you're thinking or what's happening, that's what happens. And so that's the last thing a lender wants to do. Believe me, that's the last thing. We want to accommodate. We want to be able to work with the borrower. So reach out to the lender and let them know what's happening. So
you can be honest. You don't have to just sort of let this go. You think that honesty is the best policy in this case?
Absolutely. We would respect that, reaching out tremendously.
Okay, so with all the outstanding loans, it can be overwhelming for someone who's facing a financial hardship. Other steps that you can take, do you contact all the creditors or?
Well, so go through the steps. The second thing I think to do is to gather up your financial documentation. Get copies of your bills, get copies of your bank statements together. If you have other sources of income, a spouse has income, get that documentation together. And then try to figure out a budget, look at your assets and liabilities. But it's important to put that information together because when you do talk to the lender, we're going to need to know a very accurate your situation of your financial situation. So in order to do that, we need to see that documentation because every workout situation is different. And so we want to make sure we tailor a plan that's best for you rather than what's best for the lender. We want it to work for both parties.
So how does CalCoast, how can it help people then?
So that segues into our third step, which is seek financial help, financial assistance. And that's easier than I think most people think. Check with your lender, see if they have financial counseling available. So for instance, at CalCoast, we have financial counselors on staff for our members and for our business partners, free of charge, completely confidential, and because it can be overwhelming. You talk about putting a budget together and doing all these things, but when you're faced with a crisis like that, you don't know where to start. And the financial counselor can really help you start with square one and put things together and then take that information to your lender and to CalCoast, and then we can put together a plan that works for you.
All right, Robert, great ideas. Now, where can we get some more information then from CalCoast?
Well, you can go to our website, calcoastcu.org, and we have a section there called Know and Plan. It has financial tools there. Certainly call us. You can call our member service center, and they'll put you in touch with the right people, and we'd be glad to help. We do it every day.
All right, good points. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.